The art of pruning, addition by subtraction. You know, most beginning gardeners are terrified of removing too much from their plants. But if we look really closely at this, some of these early leaves, they've got some chew marks on them already, and they've already started discoloring. That's not photosynthesizing anymore. Grandma always said, if you want your plants to get bushier, produce more flowers, produce more food, you need to learn the art of pruning. Most beginning gardeners are terrified at the proposition of taking a plant that looks this healthy and is growing this well and cutting a bunch of it off. We've got all this new growth up here, and we've got little flower clusters up here. We want this to promote fruit. We don't need it to be fighting to save leaves like that. With the rain that we've had, and since we don't spray, we've got a little bug damage. You just clip that off. Now when you're pruning, you want to prune right up next to your plant, and you want to be very careful not to rip it and tear down your stem. You don't want to damage your plant. There's also suckers right in the middle. We're going to remove the sucker and that leaf. And all it takes is a small little pair of sharp scissors. We just remove that sucker, and then we're going to remove that leaf. And do the same thing down below. Coming up, one more. There's a little damage there, and there's a sucker coming on, but our flowers are above that. There aren't going to be any more tomatoes down below that. Since this is a vine, we're just going to clip that off. Now, we're ready to bring a string down and start trellising this. But that will allow this new growth to really take off. This will get much bushier. And on your roses, come down to the first set of 5 leaves, and you just clip that off. Toss that out into the mulch. Come down to a set of 5 leaves. Now you've deadheaded, and you've added by subtracting. This will go ahead and put on a whole bunch of new blooms. And that's how I've kept this rose alive and producing for well over 30 years. Now on our fig tree, I left this main stalk because I didn't know exactly when or where or how it was going to come back. We're kind of new to figs, but it looks like it's coming back at the base, so I'm good to get rid of all this dead wood. So we're just going to go ahead, and that still seems like it's kind of alive, but, well, now it's down a ways. But I just took it right here where it branched out, and we're going to call that good. We're going to take off these side branches. Just like pruning your tomatoes, you want to prune that as close to the plant as possible. You don't want any big scars hanging out there. So we've taken off that wood. Doesn't have to try to support any of that. I know there's some fig farmers out there that are going to tell me I'm doing this wrong. But I know by taking the dead wood off, I'm going to allow this to go ahead and produce more leaves, more branches. We'll clean it up in the fall. This is only its 2nd year. It's just coming back. I'm going to let it do what it wants to do. And that's where beginning gardeners get it wrong. They're afraid to remove some. But I do know we're going to get addition by subtraction. You can do this too, even if a bug flies into your nose. So why does pruning actually work if we think about it? Well, look at this Swiss chard. This is cut and come again. I can take 20 to 30% of these leaves off of each plant every little bit, and all it's going to do is continue to bush out. Now I can hear the neighbors mowing. They're doing the same thing to their yard. They're just pruning it, and it makes it lush and grow faster. In your garden, why do you want to get the roots up? Because if you just break it off, that weed comes back more aggressive. That's just pruning. And it's all based on nature's strategy to reproduce. One thing we don't really think about as far as pruning is succession harvesting. Peas, beans, cucumbers. There are several plants that are designed to quit producing as soon as they get enough seed that the plant thinks it's done its job. And we can trick that plant by removing those seed pods, what we call harvesting. And we've got this basil that we uppotted, that we planted, but it's got seed heads on it. As soon as those seed heads go to seed, this plant will think it's done. We want to remove those seed heads. You just clip those out of there. And that'll continue to grow out and bush out. That's how I get a decent pea harvest. We come out every day, and any of the pea pods that are filled up, we go ahead and get those off. We take them to the house, we freeze them. That way we get a big mess, and the plant keeps producing for us. And that's addition by subtraction. If you get a nice fatty like that, it's also lunch. And that's why we do it, because it tastes great. And by picking the mature pods every day, it's going to continue to bloom and put on new pea pods. And then by doing it, it gets so heavy that the wind kind of tips it over. And then pretty quick, the hardest work you ever do is harvest. Well, let me get the rest of these peas off, and then we'll take a break and we'll plant that basil. I'll show you how to trim it up. I got a pretty good little batch of peas. Now when the boss comes out here tonight to see what I have or haven't done right, there's going to be a bunch more that need to come off. They swell pretty good, especially with the rain that we've had, but I think I've done a pretty good job of cleaning that up. But I wanted to show you right here in this walkway, these are the beans that we didn't get picked. The same thing will happen with the peas, and it's part of pruning or succession pruning. As soon as those beans got to a point where they were dropping seeds, the beans, they quit making. There were other beans around. We had quite a few, so I wasn't worried about it. But by dropping them, all of these beans in here are free this year. They're not exactly where I would have wanted to plant them, but they're making their way up to the trellis. And I'll bet you here pretty quick, it's going to be unrecognizable. But let's go ahead and get this basil in. And what we've talked about is taking it down to the first node or taking the flowers out. Now a good pair of scissors, little pruners, nice sharp fingernails work really well. The only reason we're going to go ahead and take these flowers off is we want this to continue to bush out, and we want to make a nice big basil plant right here in between these two poles. The thing is, if you're going to pinch with your fingers, you want to have a nice clean pinch, but a nice pair of scissors work really well. And you don't have to take it at the first node. You can take it down. You can take it down even further if you want. Now we could put that in a glass, root that, and get it going again. But we've got a bunch of basil going right now. I mean, we got volunteer basil coming up everywhere. And I think this one's just fine to go ahead and put in the mulch. So you can do it pretty fast. Just take all those flowers off. And just like with the peas and the beans and everything else, this plant wants to make more plants. It's going to want to make flowers and seeds. By removing those flowers, we're just encouraging it to get bigger and make more. You stay after it a little bit each day, it's not overwhelming. But the hardest work you do out here is harvest. And with the basil, clipping it is harvesting. So let's get this in the ground. We'll come back and give that a little drink of water and put a little bit of, and since it's a plant, we'll go ahead and put a little mulch in around it. And that's all it takes. And in a week or so, you're going to see some addition by subtraction. It's getting kind of warm out here. I think I'm going to take these peas in the house, get them shelled, get them in the freezer, take a little breather. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.